So here we are on episode 4. Recently, we launched an email campaign on social media, especially Facebook, and we have this image on the ad campaign, doing the one-arm overhead press. That's Simeon Castillo, our leading coach here at our training facility, and at least one person, I think his name is Robert. He made a comment. What is that formula? I think he called it the trigonometry formula, in that image, and why is there? Robert, that is a great question, and it looks like you are the only one that noticed it. Okay, so I'm going to answer not only to you but to everybody else. Why is there? See, we use geometry to understand human movement and keep it simple. Okay? See, the research community, they have done a great job at studying load, studying, how much, what happened when I lift heavy weight, which muscles are contracting and whatnot, and they use, EMGs, and EMG is just a set of wires that they put on your body and attached to a computer system, and it shows which muscles are activated and which are not. And they also use force plates in order to understand, lines of resistance, where the forces are being directed to. And but very little is being done about fluidity, flow, how to position my body to be in my strongest line in order to move weight in any direction. So science, again, they've been very good at load, but I'm not sure that the science have done still a great job when it comes to flow. So I want to explain to you, what we call pure flow. And there's this guy that he was born back in 570 BC, and he lasted about 75 years. He's a Greek guy, and his name is Mr. Pythagoras. Very smart guy. He came up with the Pythagoras theorem, okay, which basically studied the relationship of a right triangle. This is the right triangle here, okay? And he came up with this beautiful formula that says that, the summation of the square of the sides adjacent to the right angle is equal to the square of the hypotenuse, okay, which is this one, or the line opposite to the right angle. Well, if you look at the image that we put on the ad campaign, which is Simeon doing the one-arm overhead press, that's pretty much, this is pretty much a geometry. It's this is the bar, okay, this is the ground or the floor, and it's a Simeon, okay. But notice that to explain or to answer the question, what is the angle that I should stand to properly perform a push press or a one-arm overhead press? It needs to be 90, okay? So we know that the length of the bar is fixed. The individual, if he's an adult, his height is already fixed. So what changes? The length between the anchor point, okay, the renegade or the landmine, and the individual's back foot in order to achieve that 90. That's how you find your sweet spot, okay? You don't have to be an expert in, trigonometry or in the, Pythagoras theorem, but if I need to educate other coaches, this is the mathematical explanation, and this is why we talk about achieving that 90. If you don't, the movement doesn't look athletic, it doesn't look sexy, it doesn't flow, okay? Vinny, point this way, turn the camera this way, and I'm just going to take what we just mentioned here, okay, and translate it now in the gym floor. Okay? So I'm going to load up, move to the side here, and notice that I don't have to calculate, okay, the distance between, the anchor point and my back foot to achieve 90. I can feel that if I pay attention to my body, okay? If I want to use my eyes, I just have to look. There you go, okay? Once you do that, now everything else starts falling into place, okay? Your handprint, your footprint, notice that my front foot is flat, back heel is up. So I can drive, project that force straight up. And the idea is to maintain 90 as much as possible throughout the whole movement. Okay? What you see out there is almost comical, It's the typical Western mentality of rigidity and tension. It's all about the load. But very little importance about fluidity. So usually they stand with their heels down and then they press. And notice how I break the line. I violate, even though it looks 90 here, but my whole body, which is on the whiteboard, it will be the side on the right, okay? On the board, it looks straight from head to toe of the back foot. Here, notice that I'm already breaking. See, my upper body is almost straight, angled, and my lower body is almost straight. Okay? And it looks kind of like robotic. Okay? So that's what I'm saying about, defining, rigidity, okay, for fluidity. One, yeah, you get strong, but you're probably going to start getting a little stiff, okay? On the second one, you flow, and you're making the movement sustainable, because you're allowing the body to actually express itself, okay? So see how we can take something that looks, athletic, fluid, even beautiful, and how we can explain it from a mathematical standpoint. Thank you to our friend that lived over 20, maybe 2,500 years ago, Mr. Pythagoras, okay? So, again, these days, this is how the Western world train. Too square, okay? It's just overrated, all right? Here at Purmotion, we go beyond square. Square, you need to train square movement. What I mean by that is, imagine your back squat, front squat, deadlift, bench press. It's all sports-based movement, 100% square, okay? But, here we also think about different lines, triangles, circles, elliptical, as our way to create flow. So, I hope this episode, answered Robert's question and so many others that you guys, I know most people, they saw the formula, but nobody asked. Okay, it only takes maybe one person to create, a chain reaction and to motivate us to better explain what we do here at Purmotion. Keep checking us out. Either on our website, purmotion.net, social media. We have Facebook. We are going to get into Pinterest. Vinny, you're going to meet him at some point in time. He's going to be dealing with all that. So thank you so much for your time. See you on the next episode.